Xiaomi have just announced MIUI 12. There are a ton of new features and design changes. Here are the top 12 new features coming in MIUI 12. There are design changes everywhere on the system. The apps look a little bit different, the designs are different, but the biggest change really comes to the design in general and the actual screen. Everything is more rounded, especially at the edges. So everything from apps to the actual background that you're looking at and the way that it goes into the phone, into the hardware on the screen, is definitely more rounded when it animates as well. This ties in with the hardware actually, because the Mi 10 Pro has quite a more rounded screen at the edges than a lot of other Android phones, and so Xiaomi made a big deal of saying that the animations and the apps are more rounded when they're animating. There are some animation changes when you come in and out of apps in terms of where they're positioned, where they come from. So they may not come from the middle of the screen, they may come from the app that you pressed. When they animate, they have a slightly different path in the way that they fill up the screen. So you can see the way that that works in these GIFs. Pretty cool, a new design on the way that apps open and animate. There is an entirely new landscape mode and an improved landscape mode overall. So apparently you can now make the entire operating system into a landscape mode. You just turn the phone around and the entire home screen will go into a landscape mode. All the apps will go into a landscape mode. This is definitely a feature that a lot of people want and like. So yeah, good on Xiaomi for improving the landscape mode. Also, when you open apps, apparently the animations are going to be a bit smoother as well. A lot of the times when you open apps, it actually opens in portrait mode and then has to switch around if it's a landscape mode game. Xiaomi say that the system will recognize landscape mode games and open them directly into landscape mode now. There are now animated app icons when you close an app. When the app goes back to its position on the home screen, you can see here in this GIF, it actually shows you. So the inner icon or the inner design or drawing, whatever it is inside the app, actually seems to like come out of the app icon, separate from the background color, and have a slightly slower motion back into the app icon. It just makes everything feel a little bit more designed and animated and a little bit more 3D. Definitely a cool feature. Xiaomi said they've added some new swiping gestures and some more features when it comes to swipes. So you can see here again in these GIFs, they're saying that this is different to iOS now. It's slightly different. They're saying that there's more features. You can still swipe up from the bottom to close an app like normal, but now apparently you can swipe up from the bottom and then move your finger off to the right of the screen, and it will actually have a different animation than what it was doing before and give you the app loader screen with all the open apps. This for me, just by looking at it, is definitely a slightly different design on the way that you can swipe up and the way that it populates the app loader for sure. And Xiaomi say you can swipe through apps by swiping on the bottom of the screen, swiping left and right, and you can actually cycle through the app screens and it will come in. That is actually very similar to iOS in the way that it does that. There are now new icons or redesigned icons in the notification shade and the swipe down menu. So you usually get all the icons for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and connections and everything like that. And it looks like they've all been redesigned. It looks like they've all got really much bigger. Usually they're just kind of small circular icons that you can tap and press, but they look to be quite big now, rectangular. They also have some text down there. This is in Chinese, but translated it says that you're either connected or unconnected. Also in system apps like the calendar and the notes application, it looks like there's just some new animation. So if you maybe get a different event or you change an event or you delete an event, there's just going to be some animations for when you do that. And in the notes app, if you're ticking off a task that you've completed, it will actually have an animation that sort of strikes through it. These are definitely new animations that you're not getting now, so more improvements to MIUI 12. It looks like Xiaomi have really made a big redesign on the settings screen and pages. So at the moment, there's just like every other operating system, just a list of different menus that you can go into. But it now looks like they're giving us a lot of icons and drawings for different things. So for example, it will show you how much of the memory that you've used or have left, how much battery you have left, and some other important things that you need to know, like screen on time. And it'll actually give you a lot of different icons and drawings. It looks really simple and really effective. Definitely an upgrade all around rather than just seeing numbers on the screen. There looks to be some designs and animations. Again, another good step forward. Xiaomi will also add some new lock screens and lock screen animations that you can choose as default lock screen animations. Xiaomi showed off Mars and Earth, but there are some other planets in the solar system that you can choose as well. So when you're in lock screen, it will look like you're looking at a planet from outer space, very far away. And then as you open the lock screen and go into the main screens, it will zoom right into the planet, and then obviously your wallpaper will look like the surface of the planet. Definitely cool if you want to use those as your wallpaper and your lock screens, some different animations. It also looks like the fingerprint sensor animation when you are unlocking the phone is maybe slightly different as well. Unclear whether that's just for the animation that you get with these wallpapers or if it's changed throughout the system. We'll wait until MIUI 12 comes to confirm that one. Xiaomi also showed off something called AI Help, and I'm not sure if this one is coming outside of China. The one that they showed was in Chinese. But essentially, if you get some spam phone calls and you don't want to answer it, the system will actually answer the phone for you and essentially reply in Chinese in like a computer voice saying that you don't want to be called again, etc. And then maybe help you block that number as well. And it will also do that for text messages and things like that. And it will also help you interact with delivery people as well. If they send you a message saying, I'm going to be here at a certain time, and it will reply for you saying when you're at home or not. Again, I don't know if that one is coming to other languages. I assume it will be in Chinese and English at least, and they may add more languages depending on the region. I'm not sure about that one. Last but not least, they showed us something called Ling, which apparently is a new fitness tracker, a fitness tracking app that can track your workouts and your activity very accurately. Apparently they have gone with Google on this one, so Google has helped them, and they did compare it to the Apple Watch and the apps on iPhones, and saying that it is very similar in terms of tracking workouts and how accurate it is in tracking your activity. As we know, Xiaomi are really big on wearables too, and they have the Xiaomi Watch and Xiaomi fitness bands. So yeah, a good thing that we're getting a new service for fitness tracking as well. Watch out for that one coming. It's called Ling. Again, not sure if they're going to change that maybe for outside markets, outside of China, but it should be coming to MIUI 12, a new fitness tracking app. Subscribe for all the latest tech news and videos. That's it for now, but I'll see you in the next one.